good evening, good afternoon. Hello to wherever you are in the wide world, and hello to you who is catching the replay. Uh, it's really cold here. It's we're having an unseasonable. I mean, it's winter, right? Like technically, it's winter, but we normally have this pathetic excuse for a winter here in Queensland. It's like one day where it's like you have to wear a long sleeve shirt. And this morning I woke up and it was 1 degree Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. Someone else will have to tell me. But like my house is built to suck all the hot air out because I live in the subtropics. We have no heating, like no proper heating. So it was very hard to get out of the blankets this morning. It was very hard. And Louis is not out of the blankets. Louis is he's not happy. I woke up to him actually in our bed, which he doesn't do. He's an on the bed person. He's an on the bed dog. He's not an in the bed dog. He doesn't like things over his head. So for him to jump under the blankets, he had to have been so cold. So cold. Just having a catch up here in the chat. Leslie Grant, good morning. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It would be very cold in Stanthorpe, but beautiful sunshine. The sunshine doesn't seem to have any warmth in it yet here today. Not yet. It'll get there. I did do something, which is something I have been trying to, I've been meaning to do for ages, which was when I moved the studio into the house. I knew that this room had no heating and no cooling, and I was more worried about what would happen in summer because I thought, it would get very hot in here and the computers would just, crash and burn. But I had some curtaining and an extendable rod that I've put across a hallway, which I was going to use to filter the nice, cool air from Abby's bedroom air conditioning just around a little corner. Like it's basically like her door is there and mine is here. So it just needs to sort of get out this door and in that door sort of thing. And I've blocked off the hallway just on the other side of her door. I set that up this morning so that I could try and pump some warm air in here and just take a few degrees or add a few degrees because it was very, very cold. It was very cold. 33.8 in F. Thank you, Nettie. Kelly says I've actually been getting some use out of my Oodie. Yes, absolutely. Me too. Can't live stream in my Oodie. It's just over there. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I can feel a sneeze brewing. Francis says my heater has fallen apart. When my husband tried to get it out of the garage. Yeah. Yep. Because we just don't use a heater that often. Even in winter, we don't normally use a heater, so it's not normally such a big thing. Hang on. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I knew it was coming. I could feel it. Oh, well, so enough of me complaining. Oh, who says you can't live stream in your Oodie? The thing with my Oodie is I disappear into it. It's got such a big neck thing and all the hood that I just disappear. So, yeah, I could technically wear it and like drop you guys a link to get a discount code for your own Oodies. I've got one. Jackie says it feels like -1 here in Hobart. That's ridiculous. I would have thought you would have been way colder because it was 1 feels like 0 this morning here. So and I'm in Brisbane. It is, yeah. Yeah, wear the Oodie. Knitspin Girl says, I don't have a heater. So glad I'm a knitter, making very good use of all things woolly. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Nettie says that Stanthorpe, my daughter lived there as a vet, old house, no heating, gaps and holes and drafts. She would finish work and get into bed. Yeah, that's pretty much what we've been doing here. My husband, who's like a wake up, get up person, he was like a wake up this morning. He was like, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm like, off you go. Off you go. I don't know what the temperature is here now. That was this morning when I woke up at 5:30. But it'd be warmer now. It'd have to be, right? I don't know. I haven't ventured out. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So I would love to know in the chat, and this is for you lurkers as well. I know there's some lurkers here. Um, I would love to know where you are. So pop into the chat where you're from or where you're watching from. You can tell me the temperature as well if you like. I'll try and like, like suck up some of the warmth through the interwebs. Yeah, Tali says it's easy to forget what cold feels like with a 40-degree summer. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And not just the 40 degrees, but also that 90% humidity. Like the air is so dry right now, which I'm kind of liking, but like I'm like, yay, that means there won't be any rain and the leaks will have time to dry out. Oh gosh. Diane, welcome to the chat from West Michigan. That is awesome. Knitspin Girl says I didn't want to get up either. Yeah, that's exactly right. Game Widows is coming in from Melbourne at 11 degrees. Leanne says we're currently 12 and I'm just down the road from you. Leanne, you're a bit further than just down the road from me, right? I'm just up. I'm double checking what my temperature is now. Okay, so I mean, it's saying that it's 4.5, feels like 2.3. I'm just going to refresh that because, like, it's cold, but I didn't expect it to still be quite that cold. So I'm just going to open the software back up. Oh, there we go. 12.5 feels like 10.3. That's more like more like what I was expecting. Nettie is saying bye. Are you off, Nettie? Okay, have a good day. Gotta go. Okay. Let me look. Excuse me. Mel is in Melbourne. And Diana E is sneaking in. Hello, Diana E. It's good to see you again, Diana E. At work in Wyoming, it's 74. So it's like, that's a much warmer than here. Talia says, watching on the TV, feeding the tiny person. Oh, visitor has arrived. How do they not know that's just not on? We've got Kathy from central Wisconsin at 15 degrees. That's quite cool, right? Central Coast, New South Wales, 12 degrees from Susan. She's got the fire going. I would love to have access to a beautiful fire. The smoke went outside and didn't trigger my asthma. That's what I'd like. Sally's in Adelaide with 11. Josephine is in the Redlands, which is not too far from here, with 12.6, feeling like 8.4. Yeah. Hey, Lucy Moon, welcome to the chat. Washington State, it's a cool summer at 20. Love it. Yeah, we're supposed to have a top of 18 today. So yeah, that's not yeah, it is crazy. And it's Diane from PBA. Hey Diane, welcome to the chat. Morning all from Sue Ellen. Oops, hang on, it went away. Come back. Sue Ellen is from Oberon. Temperature 1.6, feels like minus 3.1. The overnight snow melted. Oh my gosh. Wow. Good day to Central Coast. Hey, Kerry's down the rabbit hole. Francis was 3 when I got up in Sydney. I'm still only 25 minutes away. Oh, okay. I thought you're a little bit further than that, but cool. Jackie says Oberon is cold. Yeah, let's not go to Oberon. Oh gosh. So fasting keto coach Diane says, welcome to yay, glad to be here. If we're all sharing temperature, I'm in Central Florida, 80 degrees and clear. Yeah, I was just complaining about how cold it was here, and then I've actually had to put heating on and I'm not coping. So, and neither is Louie, who is like all nestled under a blanket here. Oh my goodness. Now, thank you all so much for jumping in. Did you just growl? He doesn't usually make noises like that. Okay, so thank you so much, all of you, and those of you that are lurking or working from or lurking or at work. What do we call that? We're trying to come up with a word for that. And sneaky quickly jumping onto the keyboards while you're at work. I appreciate you doing that. I have been doing some crazy stuff this week. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, like Francis is right. Us Aussies do not cope with winter. Look, I'm in Queensland. I live in the subtropics, and it's I'm used to hot and humid. Like I like it being cooler, and I especially like it when I go to Bendigo when it's this cold. But the houses are built for it. Like, they have heating, and you can go outside and get all, like, cold-faced and then come inside and sit down next to the big warm thing, and I love that. I love it when it's built for it. This house literally has whirligigs on the roof to suck the heat out, and there's nowhere to turn them off. So, I'm just like, yeah, it is, working, but it still sounds like working, doesn't it? Like Talia, 'cause, yeah, but yeah. Kerry's is just gotta head out. We'll see you when you get back. Good luck. But yeah, so this week has been a big, big week of doing lots of different things. I have been to my exercise physiologist yet again, got the all clear to go to the gym, which is a little scary. We did like a massive, massive workout on Tuesday, and my legs are like, hello, hello. We don't normally do much with the legs at these workouts, do we? So I'm like, oh, hello, legs. Um, so there's that. Arms are feeling mostly okay, just a little niggly in the shoulders, which is good because last week, this arm in here really was quite sore. So things are progressively getting better, which is awesome. Something else that I did this week was I totally knocked over the red in the queen. I am onto the next color. I managed to get onto the next. Now, in saying that, I had to double check like the counts like a few times because I'm like, there's like hardly any rows of this color. Like, there's hardly any. And I was just like double checking because I'm like, I have to have done something wrong. But no, it's the same number of rows as the previous section of red. It was just a short color. That's all it was. So that is lurking. Lurking? Lurking, working. Look, yeah, it's still because work and lurk, they rhyme is the problem. So, yeah, I don't know. We've got to come up with something. Diana E is working. Francis has started a new Pilates class. Strangely, my hands are sore. Really? Do you use your hands a lot in Pilates? I thought it was a lot of like, I mean, I've never done Pilates, but I was assuming it was a lot of core work and I have no idea. I have zero knowledge of Pilates. So yeah, so I'm onto a new color and something crazy happened, like legit crazy. I'm sitting here getting ready for the live stream, setting the blanket out, getting everything all sorted, bringing the yarns over because I work on this desk all week. So I just move the blanket off to another table and this is my work desk. This is where I pack orders. This is where I have Zoom calls. This is where I do everything basically. Um and and so I'm just, the big giant purple ball, I was sitting here and just out of the end was a little tail just poking out. I'm like, no way. No. But yes, it was the end. And I'm working from the middle of the ball now. So I don't have to keep unrolling. I mean, I'm probably going to regret that later, like this big ball, and I'm going to suck out all its middle. And I'm just going to end up with like this massive pile of yarn bath. But at least I'm not going to have to like constantly be rolling this big ball around because I could not, in all the moves and everything, I've packed a lot of my tools away into crates that have gone into storage. And I think that my yarn butler was one of them. But it was just so weird. It's just like this little tiny tail just poking out. And I'm like looking at it like, no, you're not a tail. And I've sort of just grabbed it and just pulled it out. And I was like, are you kidding me? How easy was that? Like normally you're like digging around, pulling out half a ball. I mean, that's normally my experience with pulling out a center pull anyway. Who here has like just gets the center pull strand the first time, every time, never gets like a amount of yarn bath? I need to know. In the chat, tell me, do you get the center pull like let it whoop straight away? Not on balls that you've rewound yourself. So on cakes, I have no problems, but it's on commercial balls. I've got water today, because I've noticed that I've been struggling to keep up my water intake while it's been cold. So, believe it or not, it's actually hot water because I'm a baby. I've got hot water and I got cold water, but I just have water today. So, and I may even run out and get a top up So that may happen. That's a unicorn moment. That's how I think too. I think it's a legit unicorn moment. Not every time, never, always yarn bath, depends on the ball. Not me. I've always gotten the center. Wait, I have always gotten the center pull first try, and no yarn bath. Like just a like broop, one strand. Because like if you do, we need a tutorial, Ruth. Yarn bath every time. Almost always get yarn bath. If I whack it a few times slightly, sometimes the ball end loosens and I can just pull it out. No bath, but it's rare. Okay, all right. Almost always get the yarn bath. Never every time. Did you know your friend Claire does have a tutorial? Yes, I did. She's actually told me I can use it to do a reaction video on it. I should do that, shouldn't I? Deb says, I'm watching this on TV with a cat holding me hostage. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, Ruth. You are like, you're a unicorn. Like, I thought that was a unicorn, but it happens to be every single time. Does it depend on the yarn company or anything like that? Like, you just get it every time, no matter what yarn? That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm just looking here in that, like, because I've got the StreamYard feed, which is the ones that I can bring on the screen. But over here, I've got the YouTube feed where I get to see everybody's colors. And because we got some new members in last week, I've got like green yarn balls and there's the bronze yarn balls. And it was just like, oh, what's that? Hang on. Oh, no, it's a new person. So Leslie and Deb are our new members from last week. So you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And also to all of the rest of you who are channel members, not just the new channel members, but all the channel members. And those of you that are over on Patreon as well. I really do appreciate the fact that you just support this live stream every week, or actually it's every month, isn't it? But you come in every week, and it's one of those things where it's like, no matter what I'm doing in the week, no matter what's going on, I can always look forward to this live stream. And knowing that you guys also help support it financially means I've been able to get better internet. I've been able to get a better microphone. I've been able to get better software. And it's all been a slow progression. And it's all because you guys support here, either with your YouTube channel memberships, with the Patreon memberships, which I won't lie, that they pay the most. Absolutely the most. But there's also the people that come in every week and just watch this video and watch the other videos. They also help as well. But it is the channel memberships and the Patreon that do bring in the bulk. So I definitely appreciate you all. Dolores is in the chat. Hello, Dolores. Leanne is member 1.5. Does that mean there is a member 2 behind you, or are you having 1.5 and 2? Just out of curiosity. I'm just curious. So yeah, it's definitely a thing. All right. I'm gonna change camera angles. We've got our craft. Now, the other thing is this camera is a little delayed. It's only delayed for a couple of seconds, but I do notice it. So sometimes I'll be just like, oh, hang on a second, and I'll realize that it's just a couple of seconds behind. So look, I don't know what I need to do to fix that. There's probably a thing I could do. Yeah, I'm not rushing out to do it because I don't want to break it. Francis says, strangely, I'm unable to skip the ads anymore. Really? That's bizarre. Because not all ads are skippable, so maybe some. Okay, a little bit of YouTube knowledge for everybody. Sorry, just to throw this in. What happens is just before you join in, like say you click a thing, within the microseconds of you joining in, YouTube and a whole pile of like ad bots have a big conversation about which ad to put in front of you. And sometimes they're clickable, are not clickable. Sometimes they're skippable, and sometimes they're not. I didn't realize I had access to non-skippable ads. I'll have to check. I personally prefer being able to put the skippable ones on so that you guys can skip them. But I'll have to have a look into that, Francis, because there is a setting I can check. But also YouTube just changes stuff sometimes. So I don't know. Francis says, yeah, there's usually 2 short ones. unskippable. Oh, I'll have a look, Francis, because I thought all my ads were skippable. I got some new fluff yesterday. Well, Rebecca, you need to get photos of that fluff over into the fun zone so we can check it out and ooh and ah over it. Yeah, I find the outside strain going into the skein, the center pull is at the opposite end. I always twist the yarn by squishing it. Yeah, I always check the opposite end because I know that happens, but I still end up with yarn bath. Francis says it's not an issue. Okay. But, at the same time, I'm still gonna check. And then there's Mel here who got no ads. Isn't that bizarre? That's so crazy. Chintamani is working today. Good morning, Chintamani. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep crocheting, guys. Oh, actually, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. So as far as I can work out, this is another actually fairly short color. So this is it here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of that one. I think if it's the same, it might be 7. So yeah, Rebecca's new colorway is called Old Boots. Nice. And Game Widows is currently weaving up some hand spun. Francis got Mel's ads. Well, you can take that up with Mel. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just going to be bringing my pattern over. You guys know I'm working on The Queen by Tina. I think the link may be in the description. I don't even know anymore. What day is it? No idea. It's Thursday for me. It's Thursday for me because I'm live streaming here on this channel. Chintami says I've got premium, so I get no ads. See, I'm the same. I've got premium as well, so I don't worry about the ads. Leanne, thank you for dropping the link to the fun zone. Thank you. So I have put in today's link for today's live stream. So if you want to add in anything that we're talking about to that, like add that as a comment to that link, then we can sort of keep the live stream and the conversations together. That would be amazing. Make sure you pop in photos of what you're working on and anything like that, because I love going through those posts and seeing what you're all doing during these lives, because I think it's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's like bow tie cool. That's how cool I think it is. Ruth says, I got a couple of ads, but was able to skip them. Okay. And that's what I like to hear. That's the thing, especially for you guys who are channel members. I like it when you can skip the ads. The rest of you, watch the ad. I don't get paid unless you watch the ad. So yeah. But those of you, the channel members, I really would like for you to be able to skip. Wouldn't that be nice if there was a way to make it so that YouTube didn't run an ad for channel members? That would be amazing. I don't think that they would ever do that though. It's live stream day. Yes, it is. Excuse me. The handspun table runner that I was working on last week is finished, and I'm now working on the next requested woven shawl. Lovely. Talia is adding more color stripes to her wrap. It must be Thursdays. I could never get the hang of Thursdays. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Wow. That feels really appropriate. That kind of hit me. It hit me. I'm just having a little look here at the stats. And I don't know if what I'm seeing is right. If you guys can let me know. I'm seeing 36 viewers and 18 likes. So if those of you that are watching can go in and smoosh on that thumbs up, that would be awesome. And if you're a part of a yarn community that you think would enjoy this live stream and enjoy our conversation in the chat, that would be amazing if you could share it in there as well, if your community allows that. Not all communities do. I love that quote. Me too. Rebecca saying, I ordered a wicked basket full of fluff from England. That's interesting. Francis is a wicked basket full of fluff. I like that. I'm on my 4th row of continental knitting. I'm going very slow. Well, you're learning a new thing. You have to give your hands time and effort to, learn this stuff. Sally says that she sees 19. I see 22 now, so that's cool. So that's not totally off, which is great. Working on staying awake, been home all week with the flu. Oh, that sounds horrible. That doesn't sound the best. I've woken up this morning with a little bit of a nose, nothing else, just a bit of a nose. I think it's just because it's cold. Personally, I should probably I haven't had my medication yet this morning, which I probably should have done, which would have solved that. So, whoops. Ruth is working on crochet Christmas balls. Nice going, getting on top of those nice and early, Ruth. Not like me. It's like, oh, Christmas is in 2 weeks. I shall make all of the decorations. Oh, that's awesome. Who else is starting their Christmas plans and is starting working on their Christmas projects? I love good Christmas decorations made with crochet. I've got a little, or even knitted. I've got the is it Arne and Carlos? I think it's Arne and Carlos. They've got a book of like beautiful knitted Christmas baubles, and I've got that, and I've made a few of those. And I've been having fun. Change of season sniffles for Talia. Yeah, I've got that. Yes, Sally. Better not get sick. Oh, that's right. It's a good reminder to order baubles if you need the actual hard baubles inside. Christmas, there's one this year too. Yes, apparently so. Francis says, ooh, crochet Christmas balls, please share them in the fun zone. That would be amazing if you could do that. I'm picking up my yarn for the Christmas presents this weekend. I'm making cotton tea towels. Nice. Yeah, it is Arne and Carlos. Awesome. Yeah, they are. They're absolutely beautiful. What I'll do is I will make an affiliate link for that book, and I'll put it into the fun zone later today. So if you guys want to go and check it out, if you could use that affiliate link, I would really appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's available on Amazon. I'll find out. Game Widow says, I have made many knitted Christmas decorations. I remember watching you make like a bird after bird after bird. Those little 5-gram birds are adorable. Dolores is working on her 6th stocking. You're starting to knock them out now, Dolores. Lucy says, knitting summer ankle socks, wondering which is the stretchiest rib to use. That's an excellent question. I find that for me, because I've got big ankles compared to my feet, I have to go with like a super stretchy cast on, like a ridiculously stretchy cast on, because that's the limit for me. So for me, it's more important about what kind of cast on or cast off you're using on your super stretchy. So I've got one that I've put into my, like, I've actually a tutorial for one that's super stretchy for I think it's a 1x1 rib, but you can use it for a 2x2. But yeah, for me, it's more about the cast on or cast off that restricts the stretchy. Bub Curran finally made it to the chat. Had to feed a calf before having smoko. Nice. Just had to add hot water to my water bottle. The water is so cold here in the office, and it's too cold to drink. Yeah. Hello. Absolutely. Josephine saying knitted Christmas balls. That's the way to go. I love them. And I just fill them with, they're actually just in a crate because when I moved the office, I'm still going through some stuff and I was actually looking at them before, like as in yesterday. Where are we? I want to learn how to weave so I can make dishcloths and dish towels. Weaving for, like, seriously, I've got tea towels. That's a dish towel. Is that the same thing? And I hand wove one of those. I had to get some help. It was my very first project, and I had to give the loom back to the lady who owned the loom. I didn't own the loom, and she finished it off for me. And it's my favorite tea towel, and I regret not finishing off more of them. But I have my own looms. I could legit do some with my spare time. But yeah, the hand woven tea towels are amazing. The birds were so cute, and the gnomes. That was it. I was trying to think if it was gnomes or jumpers, but the gnomes are adorable as well. Chintamani, it was 1 degree here this morning at our house. So it is so cold. It's so cold. And my house is so cold. Jen Homewood says, all that spare time. That's right. That's exactly right. Um, yeah, but so tempted. Definitely want to get in there and get some weaving done. But at the moment, I'm still sorting all the stuff out that was in the shack. And the dining table of my home is currently not usable at all for anything other than all the stuff. I was going to say a different word. All the stuff that I've got sitting on it that I'm going through, and I'm slowly making a dent. Slowly, catchy monkey, but not fast enough for my liking. I don't. I think. I think I would definitely like to be making some dents a bit faster. So we'll just have to keep plodding along. Oh, jumpers too, and droplet baubles. Okay. Sue Ellen is asking a question here. Someone else may know better than I. Is the correct cotton for tea towels non-mercerized? I'm not sure of the spelling. I use any cotton for crochet dishcloths without a problem. I used a non-mercerized, but that's because that's what I got my hands on. I don't know if there's a right or wrong. I love mine. It does its job very well, but I don't know if it would do it any differently if it was mercerized. So if someone in the chat knows the answer to that question, that would be awesome. Guys, I'm going to have to go and get a tissue. I'll be back in a second, all right? So hold down the fort if someone new comes in, say hello for me. I've got to find the thing for the be right back. There it is. All right, I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. I'm back. There we go. Lots of answers to Sue Ellen's question. Chintamani says that the mercerized cotton absorbs water poorly. There you go. I just happened to buy like the cheap $2 shop balls of cotton. So because it was my first weaving, I was sort of more learning how to read a pattern rather than worrying about how good the thing was. And the instructor was like, this is good cotton for this. And I just was like, okay, thanks. So I did, that was a long time ago. So yeah, Lucy's saying non-mercerized cotton, the coating for the mercerized treatment makes it not absorbent. There you go. Awesome. We've all learned something. Bought myself a new floor loom for my birthday this year. It arrived last week. Happy dance. Congratulations on that. Oh, my nose feels a bit better now. Thank you for letting me run away and solve that problem. Ah, goodness me. I'm just realized my head's being chopped off in this shot. So I'm just gonna, there we go. Now, where am I up to? Okay. All right. Focusing. That's scary. Hopefully. I mean, if that falls down, I lose the power for my lights. And I can't get to it without great difficulty. Oh my goodness. Oh, it should be okay. It should be okay. I just moved the desk a little bit and it didn't like it. Mercerized cotton makes for good pot holders. Awesome. We are learning again today. Yes, we are. That's what happens when we share our knowledge. That's exactly right. Yeah, it is definitely, Game Widow says mercerized trim, unmercerized for the body. Okay. I was thinking of knitting a tea towel. I've not thought about knitting a tea towel, sorry. I like the look of some of the sort of the waffle weave tea towels, and I don't know if they're knitted or crocheted, or I'll have to find a photo. If I find the photo, it'll probably say it on there, but I've just seen them, and I like the look of them. I also like waffle weave blankets, which I think the waffle weave blankets I've seen are definitely crocheted. So, yeah, definitely, like the idea, although I can imagine waffle weave would be quite yarn hungry. Not that I'm adding any new projects to my list at the moment. Um, Kathy says, "It seems like you've had quite a bit of time on your queen this week. Good for you." I did. I made sure, like, I was sitting down doing something, here, and then I realized that my hands were idle, and then I had room on my desk, so I just sort of snuck it in underneath and just had it there. Waffle tea towels are usually woven. Okay, Jackie, thank you for that. Jai, good. Welcome to the chat. It's good to see you in. Don't often get to catch you live, but I love to see you crocheting. Thank you. It's good to see you. I don't get to see you much here either. I did see you over in Claire's chat last week. So those of you that like we chatted about it a little bit last week, but Claire, Crochet with Claire, or aka Bob Wilson 123, she went live last week. She'll be live again next week on Wednesday. Fingers crossed, all things going to plan. And so yeah, same time as what we start here, but on the day before. So yeah, Rebecca's asking if peaches and cream is good enough for weaving or not. I'm not the biggest peaches and cream fan, but I'm also, like, there's no reason for I don't know about weaving it. I don't like crocheting with it. Jai says that was good fun. Yeah, it was fun, wasn't it? It was good to see her back on. So she's going to try again next week. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be fun if we can make it sort of semi-regular. That would be awesome. I like a regular live stream. I like sitting in on regular live streams where you're kind of just hanging out, shooting the breeze, just, getting to know each other in the chat, which is something I really like doing myself as well. Making online friends, my chat buddies. I've got different chat buddies for different channels. Jen says, I want some tea towels with peaches and cream. Oh, I wove some tea towels with peaches and cream. Very thick, but very absorbent. Okay, there you go. Jai says, I was sorry to hear you're not going to Bendigo. No. Has that recently just come out somewhere? I got a phone call about that yesterday as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm not doing the Bendigo Sheep and Wool show this year. I was able to have a stall if I wanted one. It wasn't the show committee decision. It was a me decision, just because I worked out that one of the biggest sellers for me at Bendigo was my yarn, and it's a very expensive trip for me, with like 2 days of driving, 7 days of accommodation. Oh, face cam is frozen. Thank you. I'll see if I can fix that. Hang on 1 second. And we'll reactivate that. We had some problems with that last week as well, didn't we? So I'm not sure what's going on there. I had no problems with it with Zoom calls this week. So I don't know what's happening. I may be asking a lot of my computer, to be honest, and it could be a computer issue rather than a camera issue. So if you guys could just let me know, thank you. That would be awesome. Kind of like the old days of Facecam when it turned off every 30 minutes. I've still got that camera, but I don't really use it much because it does turn off every 30 minutes. It would be awesome to have it as an additional camera angle, but if it turns off, then it's not very, I can't usually reach it when it's somewhere else. I like that. My stepdad refers to my mum's online friends as her imaginary friends. So I guess everyone here in the chat are my imaginary friends. Yes. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine having more than one imaginary friend? That would be very perplexing. It would be very perplexing. Oh gosh. Actually, I don't know if I ever had an imaginary friend. Did anybody in the chat have an imaginary friend growing up? Oh, we've got I spoke too soon. Look at that. That's serious yarn barfage right there. Let's see if we can solve any of this. Definitely spoke too soon. I was so excited. That's all twisted and tangled. There we go. It's coming away now. Good morning, Sue Singleton. Welcome to the chat. Leanne says, sitting still, where's your jumper? I do have a jumper, but Louie's sitting on it. But also the heat is coming in from Abby's room. So I'm not as cold as I was. I'm keeping an eye on my feet more than anything else because they're on lino. And I have socks on. I've got warm pants on and longish sleeves ish. So I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm not feeling cold right now. But when I leave this little section, like when I went out to get the tissue, the temperature just dropped. So it's doing the job. I've just got just some basic curtains blocking the hallway just past Abby's bedroom door so that it's blowing some of the warm air from its air conditioner in here. So yeah, yarn bath karma. That's right. That's exactly right. Rebecca's a ghost, apparently. Okay, Rebecca. Yeah. Oh, Leanne's daughter had one. Her name was Wendy. Wow. Awesome. That means it's possible to hug your imaginary friends. Absolutely. I had a big family of imaginary children. They all got up to buy power cords for the lights. Hopefully that I'm gonna see if I can pull it back up. All right, let's have a look here. I don't know if this will work. Let's try. All right, I rescued it. The power pack fell off the back of the table, and all the lights are plugged into that power pack. So if they went, it was going to be bad. It was going to be bad. It would have gotten very dark. Kerry's back. Awesome. Welcome back, Kerry. Is that a purple or a blue you're working with? Right now it's a purple, so that's the purple there. So I'll just it's just very dark on this bottom camera. This is the Queen Cal, and it's just each color is one row. So you're not doing any color work as such per row, but like the next row will be this brown color again. So it'll be this, what color is this called? Currant. It's like a burgundy brownie color. Leslie's imaginary. I mean, they're Leslie's imaginary children. They're not mine. So I'm sending them back, Leslie. My niece had one who was a squirrel, and it was Nutkins. Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's very cute. Yeah. I don't know if I had one. I'm just trying to think. I have to ask my mum. My mum would know. I don't remember having one. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's a great pattern. Look, I've been working on this for a really long time because I made some I don't want to say error of judgment, but I made some changes to the pattern ish. I wanted it to be a legit queen size blanket to cover over the edges of my bed. I don't like the blankets that sort of just sit on top, and the original measurements were just that little bit short, so I added in an extra couple of repeats. I think it's just an extra 2 or 3 repeats, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is. But also I changed from the patent recommended DK weight. I'm using a worsted weight. So, without the edges, my blanket is now 2.2 meters wide. So each row is 2.2 meters long. It's a lot. It's quite heavy. I'm just gonna, here we go. I'll just go to this desk view. Here you go. So I'm just gonna move this cup just over a little. But this is like sort of like we've got one end going all the way across, and it's just a bit bunched up there, all the way over to here. So it's 2.2 meters wide. It's, you know, we're over halfway done. It's taken me some time. Let's just go with that. It's the extra size will be worth it when I'm finished. I'm really hoping so, Dolores. I'm really hoping so. I think it would be lovely and toasty. It would have been very nice to have this on the bed last night, let me tell you. And the other thing that I love about this pattern as well, Jai, is that while you change colors every row and we have all of these ends, you don't weave the ends in. It has a border that actually encases the ends. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing that, although I'm hearing some horror stories about that border. But I'm looking forward to the border. I think I would rather deal with whatever border horror stories there are than weaving in all those ends. Like I think I'm going to have, let me look here. So I've worked out, I'm going to have 351 rows. So that's double that in ends. Let's not weave all those ends in. But I love that with the pattern as well. I mean, I think I'm doing the traditional queen. Hang on. I'm doing the large tequila sunrise queen, which you can't see very well there, but I'm just seeing if I can find some more. So it's a large horizontal queen. So you've got options, like there's a traditional queen, there was smaller versions. There was all sorts of different sizings to work on to choose what you wanted. So I went for my very first mosaic crochet project. I went bigger and then bigger again. Oh, the stitching itself is not hard. And Tina has fantastic tutorials walking you through everything, like row by row walkthroughs of the basic pattern. Josephine did the what's it called, Josephine, where all the different triangles had different patterns in them, and you had to sort of mix and match. I'm just going with the basic pattern. I did not sort of make it anything more, but Josephine did way more, and hers is finished, unlike me, where I'm still going. I'm here complaining about making a baby blanket. I got nothing to whinge about. No, baby blanket, I kind of wishing, well, I'd have no use for a baby blanket is one thing. But at the same time, it would have been, the project would have been done and I'd be onto something else now. But I'd have a blanket that I wouldn't be using. So I suppose at least this way I'm going to have a blanket I'll use. Sally's popped in a link for the Queen Cal. Thank you, Sally. Leanne says, I think the border is worth the experience. That's what I'm telling myself. Yeah, me too. Me too. The adventurous is what Josephine is doing, as well as Leanne. The adventurous queen. I'm just doing the not adventurous queen. Yeah, no, absolutely. There's fantastic tutorials, like step by step, walking you through how to read the chart, everything. Like she does very well with her pattern descriptions, and I really like how she writes, so it's good for me. The border is great, just didn't like the rows working into the slip stitches, and I think that's an issue for most people. I am going to go up a hook size for that, and I am also going to be doing the double slip stitch version so that you don't have to work into the same slip stitch on the front and the back, so that you can, like, I think that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know. Where's Gentile? Gentile was going to help me. Anyway, um, Joe Good says I'm having another grandbaby in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, that is awesome. Will you have a use for a new baby blanket then? Um, yeah, absolutely. And a friend in the chat, Lisby, she made a baby blanket version of this using rainbow and cream cotton. Diana says, lurking is over, gotta run. Bye, Diana Ree. Have an awesome day or night or whatever that you're doing. Do you where are we? Do you like charts or written patterns? I like crochet charts, but find knit charts much harder to work. I like everything. I like having the charts, but I also like having the written instructions just in case my brain is having a ouch, charts hurt day, because that happens. This particular pattern, you couldn't do it without charts, I don't think. I think you would go insane. I think this one, the charts work really, really well. But yeah, I do a lot of knitted lace and they have charts, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, dude, just tell me what I'm supposed to do. I can't deal with this. It just depends on what my brain's doing that day. Some days I probably should just not be working on knitted lace. Let's go with that. Oh my gosh, this yarn bath is doing my head in. We're nearly through it though. Hopefully that's the last of the yarn bath. It was the first of the yarn bath too on this ball. So, I mean, I can't complain too bitterly, right? The little tail poked out at me and was just like, hello, I'm right here. It was awesome. We're nearly at the end of our first row, you guys. You know, doing 3 rows last week gave me such a massive head start for finishing the color that I was just so, like, in the zone. I'm just like, "I'm gonna finish this color." I'm not like, next week's live and I think I had it finished by Monday, I think, maybe Tuesday? I think it was Monday. And so I was able to put it aside for a little while. So I probably could have gotten most of the way through the next color if I had have kept going, but I kind of needed to do some other things that was not me sitting on my butt crocheting. Um, but I also it's like one of those wins, um, where it's just like you wanted to do something and you promised yourself you were gonna do it and you actually, um, were able to do it. And so my like, which one of those brain chemicals anyway, one of the brain chemicals, it was probably serotonin, I don't know, one of the brain chemicals, I got a nice little boost of that when I realized I had made it to the new color. I was just like, "Yeah, that's what I wanted." Um, oh gosh, I want the air blower dude going up and down the street in my oh gosh, okay. What's he doing? Um, what made me decide to do my blanket in 10 ply? So, the pattern was originally written in, I wanna say Stylecraft. Was it Stylecraft? Um, and, um, I had only felt Stylecraft once, and I did not like the feel of it. Now, the other night at Caffeinated Crafters, someone was working on a project in Stylecraft, and I liked the feel of I was nearly gonna say I'm not gonna say what I was nearly gonna say, but the yarn balls felt very different, to the one that I had previously, touched, held, whatever, squished, and I think that I would probably try a project in it, but what it was originally, Jai, was I did not like Stylecraft. I could not afford the kits in the pretty yarns. They were very like, the yarn costs themselves were fine, they were very reasonable. It was the shipping to Australia was nearly the same again because it was right in the middle of COVID, so it was courier only. So I was basically looking at $250 worth of yarn plus another $200 for post, and I was just like, "You know what? I love it, but no, I don't want it, that badly." So I went with my stock standard Knit Picks Brava worsted. and they have like a really great selection of colors, and I was able to get the colors that I wanted. And at I think at the time, I'm not sure if there was a sale or something, but I managed to get the majority of the yarn I needed for $100 odd. And that was 10 balls of the purple, and then about 20 balls or something. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't 100, maybe it was a bit more. But yeah, I was able to get all the colors I needed. Um, we've since worked out that I ran out of the purple, and so I ordered myself 2 of these 500-gram balls of purple to make it the rest of the way. Um, so yeah, I was able to do that and get those done, but still it worked out a lot less expensive, but also able to get it shipped cheap. I was able to get free shipping, and it all came down to cost, really, is why. That's the short answer, cost. But it was the feel of the yarn. But now I think that I would be tempted to try a Stylecraft, because they have such a stunning array of colors to choose from, um, that it just blows my mind, honestly. It just blows my mind how much, how many colors they've got, and other companies just don't do, it quite as well. Um, Shipping to Australia is just silly, but I posted an express package of wool to the US this week, and it only cost $24. Really? An express post to the US? How big was that? Because I just posted an order yesterday that was 2 packets of blinglets, and that was $15, and that was not express post. That was just standard air freight. But anyway, where am I up to? Um, Hang on, I've got to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then that. Then 2 of these. Then doovie. We're nearly at the end, so the chart's different. And then that. And then end of the row. Yay! I had scissors. I made sure I had scissors somewhere. Keep the end handy for the next time. Alrighty, we are on to the next round. Row, round, whatevs. Okay. Oh, it's just under the 500 grams. Yeah. So, okay. So you would have been on. All right. Yeah. Because like that's the minimum international is 500. But that's cool. That's cool. I know that there's some companies in the US that are struggling because USPS won't let them choose express post to Australia, or like their priority shipping to Australia. So they're having to seek alternate solutions. Leanne says that the Brava is delicious acrylic also. Yeah, it's a very nice acrylic. Like, I really like it. I like how it feels. It doesn't do the skin irritation thing. I like it, and I like the choice of colors that I had. Vampy is saying that I found so many yarns that felt cheap and nasty 10 years ago have changed the way they're made and are now so soft and great to work with. I don't think it was 10 years ago that I played with the Stylecraft, but I also know that that person had had it in their stash for a little while. So maybe it was an older one. Also, I think it was a dark color, which also changes things up. But yeah, I think I would be tempted. I would be tempted to try, but I don't know. I'm not planning any big projects anytime soon. Yes, USPS won't do any guaranteed post to Australia. It gets here when it gets here. Yeah. Yep. Right, hang on a second. So that goes to there, that, and 1, 2. Really? Okay. It's just stacking. Yep, it's supposed to be stacking, so it looks like it's all supposed to be stacking. I will just make it stack. I'm just paranoid. Jai says Paintbox has a good range of colors as well. Yeah, I've seen that, and I like their packaging. It's very simple packaging. And yeah, there's a lot of really good brands around now that are getting much easier to get your hands on, which I love. I usually make my blankets out of cotton, and then hit up like Bendigo cotton for that. But this one I wanted to do in bright colors, and I struggle to find like a lot of bright colors in cotton. So that's why the restriction on this. But I'm sure that I could find bright color cotton now because I could always look at Hobie cottons. And I loved Liz B's version where she did the variegated bright colored rainbow, and then the cream. I thought that looked amazing. My cat loves to eat acrylic, won't touch wool, but acrylic disappears. Oh my goodness. Hey, how are you going? Oh, you're cold here. Have some blanket, you little noodle. His head is cold. Leanne says, I do like Paintbox and I really don't mind fiddlesticks. I'll always need a great acrylic in my yarn room. And Kathy says, I love the Bendigo cotton that you all sent to me. It was yum. Yeah. It was like, we love Bendigo cotton. Look, I'm not going to say Bendigo cotton is the best or anything like that. But what I will say is it's very good value. It's thin. It definitely is not 8-ply cotton. I know they like to say it is, but it's not. But as long as you know that going in, you can make allowances for it. It works out to be very good value cotton. It washes well. They just don't do a lot of colors is my biggest issue with them. And not very much in the way of bright colors, which I like bright colors. So, but when I love their grays. I use a lot of their grays when I'm making things. And sometimes I do want something muted in pastels and it's good for those. But yeah, I kind of just wish they would do a ton more colors. Like they're like, oh, we've got a good range of colors. And I'm like, dude, 12 colors is not a good range of colors. Most indie dyers have more than 12 colors. But yeah, I know it's different dyeing process than their wool. I get it. I understand. I understand the difficulties. I made a beanie for my daughter and had to redo it 4 times because the cat kept eating holes in it. Oh my gosh. Bendigo has short, yeah. See, but for me, Jai, I like a yarn company to keep colors, so that if I run out or want to plan a future project, I know that in 6 months I can get that color. Bendigo, their short runs are done, and then that's it. You can't get that color anymore. And I've ended up, especially a couple of years ago, I ended up with two projects? 2 projects that I could not get the colors for again, and had to, like, one of them I was saved by somebody on Ravelry who had some in their stash, so I was able to get those colors, and another one I just had to use a different yarn, like a whole different color to finish it off because I couldn't get that color again. So one of them, you know what? It was 10 years old. That's fine. But the other one wasn't that old, but it was a special run and I could not get it again. So I do find that frustrating. Leanne says, I'd forgotten about the tips for how thin it is and ordered the 4-ply for my first order from Bendigo. I'm loving it though. Very light. The 4-ply is my favorite. I love the 4-ply. Yeah. And I actually think it's like so economical. It really is. You get a lot of bang for your buck. Wasn't that you? No, my fusion blanket's still going at the moment. I've got enough cotton. I'm using the gray. I think it's the Glacier on that one. For the crochet edgings on that. That's doing all right. No, it was the Spin Your Granny that I did in the pink and the white, that I ended up needing more white and couldn't get that particular white because it was like their cotton spring thing. It had some lycra or something in it. Couldn't get any more of that from anywhere. And then there was also one that I did in kind of like it's actually just in Abby's room. It's just a granny stripes with peach and white, and I couldn't get the peach again. So that was also a little frustrating. But yeah, I like it, like, you know, these other companies, not so much with their cottons, but like Nitpicks and Fiddlesticks and what's the other one I'm thinking of? Special DK. Anyway, Stylecraft. They tend to keep their color ranges for a long time. So Jai says, I do usually buy much more Bendigo yarns than I need. See, the thing for me, Jai, is unless I'm shopping for a particular project, which then I do that because I'm like, right, I crochet loosely, I'm going to need more yarn. Quite often I'll see something that's cute or a color that I like, and I'll just grab 3 balls, which, you know, I always thought was a good solid amount to have tucked away in your stash. Turns out that it's not if you want to make a blanket. Even a small blanket where you're mixing 2 colors together, it's just not quite enough. So, but that's on me, I suppose, like not planning well enough for my projects. But yeah, I love their 200 gram balls. So much better for not weaving ends in. I wish it was Australian made, but it's not. But it's, you know, it's Australian cotton still. So, you know, that's good too. There's a lot of good benefits. It just has some kilometers on it. That's all. Nispin Girl says that's why I buy by the kilo. Yes. Smart people buy more. Absolutely. I remember your Spin the Granny Blanket got some huge responses on Insta. It did actually. It was probably the closest thing to a viral photo I've ever had. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. You can buy by the I wish I could buy by the kilo when it comes to cotton. Comes to cotton. Let's just change the English language. My warm water is now cold water. Oh gosh. Is that always the way though? However many skeins of balls you buy, you're always one ball short when you find the project you want to use them on. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but it seems to be the case for me. Or I think I've got the right amount, but especially when it comes to like blankets and things where I don't worry about gauge so much, I don't always remember to allow for the fact that I crochet loosely. If I'm working on a garment or something, I check the gauge or go down hook sizes. I try and get it right. But when it comes to like blankets and stuff, I'm like, yeah, whatevs. And then I end up in this nightmare terror of yarn chicken trying to finish a blanket. It's all bad. It's all bad. My dad has requested a blanket for his new house. So I'll have to find some good colors, machine washable for sure, and make Dad something for him to throw on his legs when he's on the couch. So it does not need to be this big, is what I'm saying to myself. You don't need to make an enormous blanket of enormity. Oh gosh. Where is it? I now overorder and have odd amounts left over, so we never win. No, we don't. Yarn chicken is fun. Not. No, I don't like yarn chicken. It's so stressful. Dolores says, if smart people buy more, then there have been times when I'm the cleverest. I love that. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, yes, there are times when I'm like, "Yeah, I've got tons. I'll definitely be able to make this thing. That'll be so good," whatever, and then you're just like, "Oh, yeah, but I don't wanna make that one. I wanna make this other one where I'm gonna have to really be careful." Oh, jeez. Um, let's see. We've got a comment coming through. I can see it coming, but it's not here yet. I have a shawl project. It's got 2 skeins. Year later, 2 more. Several years later, I ordered 2 more, but the dye had changed the base and it's so much darker. Oh, that's frustrating. But I can use the darker in the border, so it should work out. Well, I hope so. But, like, it went from 2 skeins to 6. Like, that's crazy. Did your dad get a puppy? Not yet. He's just talking about it right now. I don't know when he'll do it or if he'll do it. He can't get over how much dogs cost. So he's got to get himself past that because he wants a blue heeler. So being able to get a blue heeler or something like that at a pound is very unlikely. Um, so yes, he is just a bit shocked. But we'll see. We'll see. I told him to stop being so fussy. He loves Snowy. We had to check his car whenever he left because he would come and stay with us, and then he would take Snowy for trips because she was bored. So she would go in the car and she would love it because he would put her in the front seat of his bus, little Chihuahua Foxy, and he'd put her on a box so she could see. I'm like, Dad, this is why she gets annoyed with us. We make her sit in the back. Oh, don't tell me that. How did you find out that fact? Oh my god. Oh, the 22nd of September in 2020. I mean, it did go in the naughty corner for 6 months, so, I mean, that's not beyond the realms, is it? 2 years. I mean, maybe I'll be finished by September and it can be my 2-year project. Oh my god. Oh, wow. I'm trying really hard not to put it in the naughty corner anymore. Talia found on Instagram. Um, has Louis had a ride in the car yet? No. I mean, he's been in the car, but not in his new car seat yet. No. Um, Talia, get out. We did? I started when Chantel and some of the other Zoom groups started. Yeah. Instagram gave me away. Oh, oh my gosh. Come on, who doesn't have a two? All right, chat, let me know who has a project that they've been working on for 2 years. I need to know. I need you all to make me feel better. Rebecca says that blue heelers are great cattle dogs. Yeah, my dad's had blue heelers. Like he normally gets a blue heeler every sort of, he's had 3 or 4 of them now. So, they are a great dog. They are a great dog. 6 for her shawl, Chintamani says. Down the rabbit hole since an emoji. Oh, wash his hands, the wash hands emoji. Okay. I've had one project. Hang on. I had one project as of this month, but I don't think a 2-year. I would have frogged it by now. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been working on it actively for 18 months, but like just during live streams. So it's only been in the last couple of months that I've sort of started trying to do stuff between. Deb says, Deb says, I may still have a queen on the go. Awesome. Chintami says some of my projects are 2 or more. I have at least 3 that are 2 years or older, might just frog. And that's the thing. I normally do as well. If a project's been in a bag for that long, it's gone. But this one I've been working on. Francis says I have an 8-year-old project. I just have the sleeves to do. It's sitting in the naughty corner. Gosh, you guys are awesome. Leanne says that hers is her queen, is her oldest. Josephine says, I've got a Melanie Berg shawl that's at least a year pre-COVID. Kerry's down the rabbit hole says, I have a pair of socks going for 3 years. My bestie keeps saying, "It's been 3 years, hurry up." Oh. While cleaning out the stash, I found 2 jumpers I started when my 2 little boys were 4 and 5. They're 33 and 32 now. So you're a champion. Um, I also have a quilt I started sewing on Megan's 21st. She turns 27 this month. I may have a cross stitch that I was working on while I was pregnant with Abby that's not finished. She's 17 now. It's a birth sampler, so it's kind of like I was trying to get it done for before when I was trying to get it all done except for the birth dates before she was born, but I didn't quite get there. Um, so, I gotta finish it. It's still there. Um, if they're not finished till they're blocked, which is the rule, although I don't tend to block blankets quite as much as everything else, they get washed and dried and, but not so block like anything else. Like if I've got like little squares, I'll block the squares and then make the blanket. That's what I tend to do. Oh yeah, the weather has been really bad for washing and drying. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, so many projects that so my question for everybody that's putting in these projects that are around, are you actively working on them or are they just whips in the basket sort of thing? And can we be accountability buddies to finish them? That's where I'm ultimately heading. Oh, we'll do it in the fun zone. We'll just be like, "Okay, I've done this many more rows." Oh gosh. I trimmed the ends once blocking so the Indian Nights blanket still has its ends hanging out, woven in but not trimmed. It has, however, made its way to the bed. I mean, who doesn't have a blanket with ends on their bed? I do. Um Yeah, that one's got emotion tied into it, Rebecca. That one would be hard to keep going. I can see that. Um, Carrie says this, I'm working on the socks and I need to finish by spring. The yarn I was using bothered my hands. Then that one's frog it and get rid of it. That's different. That's totally different. Um, Mel says, how are you going to wash the queen since it's so large? Well, Mel, confessions time. I'm one of these people that washes my acrylic blankets in the washing machine, and I have a giant washing machine that can totally take this. The problem will be more so how I'm going to dry it, and I will drape it over the clothesline. That's the plan. Or I've actually got like big air racks, and I'm going to put a few of them together and drape it over it. It's not going to be awesome. It's just for me, so I don't care too much. But yeah, that's the plan. I would have loved to be able to pop it in my spin dryer to be able to get the extra moisture out so it dries faster, but this won't fit in my little spin dryer. And whips, more like rips. Absolutely. Yeah, laundromat could do it if you've got a big one and not a big washing machine, but I've got an 8-kilo washer, so I'm pretty good. I do a couple of squares every few months and then it gets lost in the other projects. Yeah, you might have trouble lifting it. I'm at the gym now, baby. I'm working hard. I'm building that upper body muscle strength. Who knew it was so I could wash this? But I think it'll come in handy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, gotta frog those projects that we don't want. I went through a couple of years back and I went through a lot of the whips that I had and I was like, you know what? Nope. And frogged them and reskein the yarn and washed the yarn and put it aside. Some of the yarns, I was like, the reason I'm not working on it is I hate the yarn. So do you know what happened to that yarn? I threw it in the bin and I felt so guilty because it was like money in the bin, but I hated it. And it's what held up the project. Tali says, I can't remember how long it's been, but I have a Sophie's Universe, my eldest, and a C2C Cal blanket going. Awesome. Actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, I have a whip that's about 6 years old. Like, I forget how long something's been going for because Sometimes you're like, "Oh, yeah, I only started that a couple of years back. It's fine." And then you actually go through and you find it in your Ravelry queue or wherever it is that you're keeping track of these things. And you're like, "Yeah, a couple of years ago was when Abby was 5. So that's 12 years old. So that one's going. Also, she would not want it now." Hanging the queen arms for the win. Yeah. Oh my goodness. During our first lockdown, I found all my whips and finished everything except a 20-year-old quilt. Wow. That is awesome. That's awesome. Like, because you had more time and you're able to go through everything. And whereas now you've got, back to work and all that sort of stuff. Also, you had a teenage kid at high school, which is different. Like, because I'm like, you know what? COVID school wasn't so bad for me, but it was because mine was older. I can only imagine how difficult and stressful it would have been when you had like a younger child with like more hands-on learning. But mine was doing senior at high school. So, um, Jai says, yeah, like, Abby's driven the car to school today. Like, I don't have a car because Abby's got it. I can't believe Abby's 17. She was 7 about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I definitely feel it. I definitely feel it. So, but yeah, she's driving. She's like drove herself to work the other night. Just it's very weird. It's a very weird feeling. She only got her P's last Wednesday. So that's still really new. Like last night we didn't have any dessert and she really wanted some ice cream. And she's like, "Dad, I'll just go up to Woolies and get some." And he's like, "I'm watching the football. I don't feel like going." She's like, "You don't need to come." And he was just like, "Oh yeah. Okay, you can go and get ice cream and miss the football if you want." So she did. Um, I've got a blanket in the naughty basket because the black dye is coming off in my hands. Oh, that'd be horrible. I scanned up 1.5 kilos and heat set it with vinegar. It's still coming off of my hands. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to suggest. Some dark colored yarns are just horrible for it. They really are. Um, my baby just had her 32nd. I saw your photos. They were so cute. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to suggest other than heat setting it again, but like, and letting it cool down in the pot. Like, I'm sure you did all that anyway. So I don't know what else to suggest for you. Yeah, I there's a dyer that who I won't name that I get a product from, and sometimes I end up with blue fingers and I'm just like, I hate this, but I love what it is so much. So I kind of put up with it. But yeah, um, it's just one of those things. Um, but I don't know what to suggest. Sometimes dark colors are just harder for the dye to heat set. Is it a commercial thing or a indie dyer thing? Because I find that I actually usually have more problems with commercial yarns than indie dyed yarns, because indie dyes, now I'm going to generalize here, this is a generalization. Indie dyes tend to notice if it hasn't color set. So usually they will keep an eye on that and make sure it does color set. What did I do there? I made that hinky as, didn't I? Try again, Chantel, with the actual stitch that you're supposed to be doing here. So yeah, so that is a generalization, I'm aware, and I know not all dyes are the same, but I do find that that's more often the case. Jai says that she's tried something like preen, like a pre-wash on it. Really? Does that color set it or just take the color off? Just out of curiosity. Knitspin Girl says, the blanket's done in squares. I'm thinking I'll finish off 4 squares, turn it into a cushion and toss the rest. It's a cheap commercial. Okay, so it's not worth the effort. So maybe, yeah. Yeah, cotton sets in with cold salt water, but wool requires warm acidic water to color set. So wool, silk, nylon, they all require warm acidic water. So like citric acid or vinegar, whereas cotton requires cold salt. It takes the excess dye off the commercial black. Okay. Do you find that it fades at all, or it just takes the excess off that would have come off anyway? Because I haven't tried that. I've been very lucky with I usually use Brava worsted, and I haven't had a problem with excess dyes with the Brava worsted, but I don't know about the others, but I'd like to double check so that I've got a plan in my pocket just in case something like this happens for my next thing, because I'm back to buying yarn again because I can't dye my own. So yeah. Sally, you go and rest up and look after yourself and don't even worry about us. We're good. We'll miss you, but you first. You've got to look after you. So we definitely do not mind, even in the slightest. You go and put your feet up and just chill. Whatever it is you need to be pain-free. We'll catch you again. Leanne's not going to desert us. Are you, Leanne and Jackie? Jackie might be in a meeting. She might have ducked out. I don't know. But yeah, Leanne's still here. She'll look after us if the evildoers come in. Yeah, there is only just so much dye that the fiber can absorb. Yeah, Synthropol is a good one. I don't know how easy Synthropol is to get in Australia though. But yeah, Synthropol is great for sucking out the excess dye. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're stuck with Leanne and Jackie's still here. Oh gosh, but yeah, Sal, don't think about it. Just log off. You go and put your feet up and grab some Panadol. Yeah, is Synthropol something like I hear about Synthropol spoken a lot about in the dyeing community, but I don't know many Australians who use it. I don't know if it's as easily accessible here as it is in other places. I'll tell you what, like Joe, we were talking about like Abby having the car before, and my husband was like, "Yeah, but how are you going to do, all these different things without a car?" I'm like, "I'm not." And he was like, "What?" I'm like, "I'm not. I have to stay at home. What a shame. I'll have to stay home until 4:00 when she gets here." So I'm like, I've got Bones reruns I want to watch. I got Supernatural lined up. I got paperwork to do. That's less exciting. I can work on McQueen. I'm all good. Rebecca, I don't know. I actually even sent him an email to see if he was okay, but I have not heard back. So if anybody hears from Freaky, let me know, or sees him anywhere in a chat or anything like that. I am also starting to get a little worried because it's unusual. I hope he's not unwell. But also, usually this time of the year, Freaky has darts, but he normally lets us know he's got darts. I'm such a worrywart, right? Freaky's going to come back in one day. What's the problem? I was just darts. Oh my gosh. I have a giant bag of undyed handspun and was given a pile of fiber reactive dyes. Need to make some time to play with them or just do some natural dyeing. Absolutely. That sounds fun. I haven't noticed any fading. It was for joining granny squares, so not much sun exposure. Okay, good to know. Kylie's in the chat. Speaking of amazing dyers in Australia, Kylie, we were talking about Synthropol. Is that something that you've been able to get your hands on? I don't know if we can use it here in Australia. Nettie's back again. Hey, Nettie, did you kick out your visitor? Like, how dare you turn up on a Thursday morning? I've got a live stream to watch. Be like, get out. I don't subscribe to your newsletter anymore. Oh, gosh. So, yeah. Oh, wow. But yeah, no, my plan when Abby has the car is just to, um, accept my inevitable trapped at home. Kylie says she's never used it. Yeah, I've never used it either, so I don't really have a first-hand experience with it. But I've heard of a lot of people that do use it to suck out excess dye out of their commercial yarns. And I also know of some indie dyes that use it to not have color bleeding, but I would always just use less dye and make sure there was no color bleeding. Yes, turfed her out. Yeah. Carries down the rabbit hole's got a massive job processing 4 kilos of wool. Oh my gosh. That is a huge job. Kylie, I saw the photos of your studio. It's looking amazing. Oh, it looks amazing. Jai says she uses an Australian wool wash. I use Tantec Delicate Wash for when I'm washing and when I'm soaking the yarn before I dyed it. But that's all I would use. Like that it's just a wool wash. It's not a surfactant. I mean, it is a surfactant, it's not a Synthropol. Oh, there you go, Craft Colour sells Synthropol. So it is available. Craft Colour is an Australian company that sells dyes. So it is available to get it if you want to give it a try yourself. Dark colours should be done multiple times, not to try. Yeah, I agree, Jackie. That's right. Layer your colours. If you need like a good dark colour, layer the colours. Except for Chantel, who does not do that. I d I don't. I mean, like, I did for most of them, but not for, like, Storm. Storm was just it would be the last color I did of a day, and I would heat it up, leave it at the heating temperature for longer, and then I would actually let it cool down in the pot, but it would get extra washes to make sure that it didn't do evil. Um, it's a gorgeous dyeing setup. It looks amazing. Um, yeah. It looks awesome. I'm so glad that you've got a hubby who can do that stuff for you. That's great. Um, I have a lambskin baby rug. Hang on a second. I have a lambskin baby rug. Is Tantec good for that? No, it is. It's actually got like there's a particular there's another Tantec product that's meant for sheepskins. Um, I don't know what it is, but like check out their website. They've got like heaps of options, and I actually think that that particular product of theirs is available at Big W, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Um, uh, Black can be an overdye color. Absolutely, it can be an overdye color. Like go like with like if you buy a commercial yarn that's like grays or sort of like a muted color, like over dye that, absolutely. Um, but yeah, like when you're dyeing a dark color, it's better to do it a couple of times, but just be careful. Just be careful. Oh yeah, Kylie will not be at Bendigo. I'm not going to be at Bendigo. I don't think Eggshell Bunny's at Bendigo this year. There's lots of people not going this year. But I don't think Kylie, you don't normally do Bendigo at all anyway, do you? Yeah. Kerry's that's an excellent point. With dyeing, you can add color, but you cannot take it away. That's an excellent point when you're trying to do a bit of dyeing for yourself, is slowly, slowly catchy monkey, light colors first and then dark. Um, yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head if Storm was one of the minis. I don't know. I don't think so. Oh, and there you go. For those that are looking, it's craft color or with K's instead of C's. Excellent point. Excellent point. Chintamani says that Eggshell Bunny is not going to Bendigo for health reasons, according to a recent blog. Yeah. Gamer Widows will be there, but only as a visitor, not as a stall holder. If you want Gamer Widows goodies, you need to go to Gamer Widows' Etsy store. I don't know if somebody here can grab a link for it off my website, but on my website in Fiberific recommends, Game Widows Etsy store is in there. Kylie says she's never had a stall at Bendy. It's a fun place. I'm really gonna miss it this year, but I was sort of sitting down having a think like, why am I going to miss it? Am I missing it for, like the monetary stuff? And I realized, nope, I'm missing it most because of my stall buddies, like all the other people that were in the same shed. We've been in the same shed together for years and years, and I'm gonna miss seeing them. And it was like, huh, well, that makes me sad. Oh dear. But yeah, that's I think and missing seeing like the people that I would catch up with each year, and not just like stall holders, but people who come in and buy stuff. And the thing I especially will miss is when someone bought yarn from one year and then wore what they made with it to the next year. That always just blew my mind. Because obviously it takes me 20 years to make anything. I'm like, "You made that in a year?" And they're like, "I made this in a month." And you're like, "Mhm." Um, yeah, and Wendy Beersheba, she will be there. So if you're going, make sure you go and say hi, and say hi for me as well. That would be awesome. Kerry Lee Pearson is going for her first time to check Bendigo. There'll be a few people missing, but there'll be other people there. It's not going to be. It's never small. Like there's tons of amazing creators in Australia. Like it will be awesome. It will be awesome. But I think I'm just I this year for me it's a no. Rebecca says, I have no money to go. Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show might be a bit far for you to get to, Rebecca. It would require lots of fundages and a passport and oh gosh. There are so many events and things that I really would love to go to, but I can't. There is an event coming up in a couple of weeks it's one day in Sydney, one day in Melbourne, and it's like a supernatural fan event. And I'm like, I so want to go, but I'm not going. I'm like, I'll just wait another year. Hopefully they'll be back. Oh gosh. Dry Goods going with the folks from Bellevue Park. Awesome. That will be amazing. One of these days, I'll decide that the middle of July is not too cold to go to Bendigo. How do I put this? I'm from Queensland, right? And yes, it's definitely cold. I'm not going to lie. But it is worth the cold. It really is. It's totally, if you can get there, you should totally go and just have fun. It's such an awesome event. Jackie, thank you that's the link to Gamer Widows' online Etsy store. So you can go and check out all her little bags and stitch markers that she makes. There's a Fiber Fest in South Australia this weekend, but we can't go because somebody is in ISO until Tuesday. Oh no. Oh, Madribar show has been cancelled because of all the rain. I'm not surprised. That would be pretty sloshy down there. Minor details. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Jackie says, but you live in Canberra. Okay. Then it's Bendigo's no colder than Canberra. You're used to it. Oh my gosh. Oh. I'm sure like somebody will let you help them, Game Widows. Francis has knitted 5 rows. Yoo-hoo! Go Francis. I'm on my 3rd row for today, which I'm excited about. I've got to go up there. There we go. I've hit 3, like started the 3rd row. This is becoming the usual now. We are slowly getting more rows in. There are some times that I'll be like, you know what? I can't do this row. Not while I'm chatting, because sometimes they've got like a rhythm to them and I find them very easy to memorize. But other times I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what? No, I can't do it. My brain doesn't let me do it. Nettie says Ipswich camp is on in July. It is. And I just received the forms for the Gympie retreat that are on later in the year. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to go to anything. We've got Fiberific retreat in September. So I'm going to that. Be kind of weird if I wasn't, I would think. Yeah. I think it would be weird if I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to go to the Fiberific retreat. No, I'm very looking forward to the Fiberific retreat. I think I still might even have a place or two available for the Fiberific retreat. I have to check the stuff. Check the things. Because we've got Claire's coming and Natalie's coming and lots of you guys are coming. It'll be fun. You are building up on your rows in the live chats. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. Kerry is going to have a nap. Go and enjoy your nap. Absolutely. Kelly Pole is so excited for the Fiberific retreat. It's going to be fun. Nola and I are scheming about starting a retreat down here. Oh, you totally should. We totally should. We'll come and find you if you try to bail. I can imagine me being dragged, kicking and screaming. No, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait, actually. It's like I'm really looking forward to just hanging out and, having the amazing team up at Stacey's at the Gap catering for us and keeping us warm. And we just kick back. We have our own table to sit at and craft. And there's a few couches we can sit at craft. It's just fun. It's just a nice, chill, cruisy event. And we can craft, and we can even take a big project. There's enough room to set up stuff if you've got to do a big blocking thing. Yeah, it's awesome. But I'm not going to have any hand-dyed yarn there because I don't dye yarn anymore. So unless we happen to know of another dyer who wants to come to retreat and bring some hand-dyed yarn, hint, hint, then, there's not much I can do, really. I would love to go to your retreat, but getting there is my problem. I just thought I could hit my daughter up for the retreat fee. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. We've got a few people flying in, so we tend to, some of the locals all sort of work out. We sit down and work out who can pick up who from where, because there's 2 different airports that people fly into, and then we take them on a little adventure out to the retreat site, because it's a couple of hours out of Brisbane. So if you're flying in, you can't just sort of catch a cab there or anything like that. It is a bit out in the boonies, but it's very pretty. I like it a lot. I mean, you might be able to get a lift out with the resort down the road. Peppers have got a helipad, apparently. It's not where we're staying. We're not staying in Peppers, but yeah. And that's right. And we all do love a certain person's hand tying. We do. I don't even know if she's still in the chat, honestly. She might have had to go off and do something, but yeah. Not putting her on the spot or anything. Oh gosh. But yeah. It's a fun weekend. It's like a lot of this, really, except I talk a lot less. Excuse me. I do find I talk a lot less because I get to listen to you guys talk, and I love that. It's awesome. And she is a bit more local now. Absolutely. Not super local, but definitely doable. Oh, we're not troublemakers, are we? No, not troublemakers at all. Oh, Leanne, that would be awesome to do. I'm planning on taking my Zoom blanket squares. Oh, what? That's also an old project unfinished. Yeah, don't worry. I don't think you're the only person who worked on the Zoomy blanket who hasn't finished it. Looking at you, Josephine. Um, you might talk less, but you sing more. Oh, possibly. I don't know. I like singing. Singing's fun when it doesn't make me cough and die. We've got make sure I've got to get the music playlist up and going so that we can all add to it and share it. Oh, come on. I've got a splitty bit of yarn here. A splitty bit. So I've been enjoying Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV series. That has been great. I have been enjoying Big Sky. That is crazy but awesome. And what else have I been enjoying? I've been enjoying there's something Strange New Worlds, Star Trek Strange New World. Oh my goodness. Been loving that a lot. Like, I think I've been loving that more than Obi-Wan Kenobi, which surprised me, honestly. Like, I love Star Trek, but I thought Obi-Wan Kenobi would be my legit favorite. But I'm beginning I'm beginning to think that depending on how it goes, I think that Strange New World could become my new favorite of the Star Trek franchises. Like, it may unseat the next generation. Sorry to talk Star Trek, but yeah, that's how much I'm enjoying it. How cool would that be? Indie Yarn Dyed Drilette to retreat would be amazing. One of my favorite memories from the retreat is you and Emma working on craft and singing Rocky Horror songs. It was just what was coming up in the playlist. We were just oh my gosh. It was so much fun. It was such a good weekend. And I'm gonna bring the cricket. So if we want to make retreat shirts again, same deal as last time, which is just, $5 and you bring your own shirt and we will, do that. Kylie's still here. She's she's been listening to all our not subtle hints. And that's right. We did know the words. We did know the words. Yeah. Oh goodness. Like, yeah, we did. Leslie says I'll be up for group singing. Yeah. Awesome, Leslie. Mum has been catching up on the Star Trek and the Star Wars. That is awesome, Rebecca. Like, I don't know if you like it or not, but I definitely like it. Yeah, it's so much fun. But yeah, group singing because we just have music playing and you know, it's just fun. Had a great sing along doing Don't Stop Me Now with the kids on the way home last night. Love that my kids have a singing bug. Yeah, Abby does too. Not that she will she'll probably be like, "Oh my god, Mum, I can't believe you said that on your live stream." But yeah, Abby does as well. And she has so much fun with it too. It's very fun. Just yeah, so much fun. Oh, Hank, come on. Don't be a knot. They've still got this much out of that bath to clean up. Man, that was a big one. The yarn bath. I mean, just for future clarification of anybody who just happened to not see the screen while I'm talking about bath. Oh, Kylie is bit. And Kylie, it's down here. It's a place called Stacey's at the Gap. I can send you some information for you to have a look. It's a weekend in September, fully catered, little cabins. It's like a basic Airbnb style of thing. And we just sit back and chill. And for any of our friends who are there who are creative entrepreneurs like you are, You can totally bring some stock to set up and sell as well. No cost for that because it's just a small group of friends and we just all happen to love craft. I'm trying not to be overexcited and oversell it, but yeah, that's it. I'll send you some paperwork for you to have a look at. But yeah, it's fun. It's just a really nice weekend away, honestly. I just kick back, have a laugh, drink some booze, have a beer, whatever. And just, I think I actually drank ciders rather than beer last time. But yeah, ciders, kick back. I think I may have had wine as well. I don't know. It's BYO alcoholic beverages. But all the food and tea and coffee is supplied. And we're very well fed. We're very, very, very well looked after. So yeah. Poor Kylie, put on the spot. Legit. Sorry, Kylie. Game Winner says I drank a bucket leaf of tea. A bucket leaf? What's a bucket leaf? A bucket load of tea? A lot of tea. Yeah. Yeah. It was just fun. And we've got Claire and Nat and who else? So Leslie Grant, Leanne's coming, Claire's coming, Game Winners is coming. If all goes well with Sally, she's coming. Just trying to work out who else in the chat. Deb D's coming. Talia, you're coming, right? Oh, Shelley and Jen Homewood are coming. Like, yeah, like heaps of people from the chat will be there. I'd have to have a look at the list. I don't know. I think Melissa's still coming, but I'm not sure about Melissa. I think there was a timetable clash. Tracy is coming, I think. Yep. Talia is coming. Yep. There'll be some more paperwork coming out shortly for everybody. Because final payments will need to be made by mid-August. I think it's mid-August. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. But yeah. So it's all coming. It's all coming around. The year is disappearing faster than I believe. So yeah. And we play games and we give away stuff and there's goodie bags and all sorts of things. So yeah. Oh, Game Winners will be booking flights soon. That's awesome. Oh, come on, Yarn Buff. You're slowing me down. I want to get this row done before the end of the chat. Goodness me. Yeah, the darn details. Sorry, Rebecca. And anybody not in Australia. I know it's very undoable. Oh, hello, Moochie boy. Hey. Oh, you're toasty. He's a little toasty muffin over there. He's got his little jumper on as well as laying wrapped up in a blanket. He has not been enjoying this cold. And I was saying to Tim the other night, I said, even if we hadn't have got him groomed just before this cold thing, I don't think he would have coped with the last couple of nights. So, because yesterday I got home from like running around doing a pile of errands and I sat down on the couch and he just ran over and sat on me and was shivering. And I was just like, oh, mate. And I had to grab a little blanket and then I had to stay there on the couch with the blanket and the dog for like an hour just to help the dog. That's what it was. I totally didn't get sucked into an episode of anything. Oh man, I tell you what, I'm pretty excited about not having to do school run today. Like, and Abby this morning because it was so cold, and so I'm still sitting in my pajamas on the couch with the like little blanket, And Abby's like, "Can you do the gates for me?" I'm like, "No, I'm not going outside for anything." And she was like, "Fine, I'm gonna leave the front door open so you still have to get up." I'm like, "Oh, that's mean." But she did. Kylie's like, "Let's talk more." We will, Kylie. I'll send you some info and we'll have a chat. We'll see. No promises, anybody. Don't get your hopes up. But yeah, it's just poor Louis is not coping with the cold. I mean, I'm not coping with the cold, right? And I can go and stick on an extra jumper at whim. Louis is just like, this is not my favorite at all, at all. You're not sorry. I'm really not. No. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nettie. It's very hard. It's very hard. Yeah, we lost our Snowy not that long ago. It is a very difficult time when you lose someone so precious. She would have been cold now too. Yep. Absolutely. Little dogs. Gosh, I thought I opened the door thinking that maybe the sun has some warmth to it. What a liar that sun is. Absolutely. It's not warm. It's not warm. I think just about everybody who's had a pet that they've lost still misses them. There's always something that happens that you sort of have a giggle or you think, where is that little, so and so? This would be their favorite. And then it takes a little second for you to remember that they're not there. And it does, it makes you sad all over again. It's very human. And dogs have a way, and cats, but dogs specifically, have a way of worming their little cheeky faces into our hearts. What are you doing over there? Louis moved. He's moved off the chair. So I do have access to my jumper again now. So yay for that. But he's now taken up residence on my hoodie. Yeah, our pets are always dear to us. Absolutely. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. And we wouldn't get more. We decided that we wanted to still have a puppy dog. So we got a very different kind of dog because we didn't want to feel like we were replacing Snowy, because we're not. But we still had love to give to a puppy dog, so that's what we did. It's a very sad way to finish off our live stream this morning, I think. But sometimes life is like that. And things happen that we don't plan for or we don't want. And we just have to pull on our big girl pants and roll with it. It's very easy to say, not easy to do. Oh gosh, yeah, lots of little just basic tasks, isn't it? Just little things. It is life. That's exactly how life works. That's right, Leanne. That's just life. Yeah. Doesn't make it any easier to deal with knowing that it's normal, but knowing that you're not alone makes it easier to deal with, I think. But anyway, let's keep going. How's everyone going on their projects? Let me know in the chat how many rows you've gotten done, or rows or rounds or squares or whatever it is that you're working on. Let me know here in the chat how many you've gotten done today. Rebecca says if she goes outside, she get dive bombed by hummingbirds. Really? I didn't know that hummingbirds did that. gosh. I can imagine they'd be pretty vicious. They got big, long, pointer things. Beaks. That's the word I was looking for. Pointer things. Right. Okay. Oh, Game Widows has advanced the warp loom twice. Francis has gotten 7 rows done, but they're short. But that's still 7 to tick off the list, Francis. I've only gotten 3 done. Linda says, about to start on the first row now that it's gone 12. I'll post a pickup later of what I'm working on. That would be awesome. Nettie says, I went out into the sun before when I turfed my friend out. But it was cold. Talia, but Talia, you're not alone. You also have a small human you're dealing with. Leslie's done 10 rounds on a baby dress. You're cranking. Sue Ellen's got to go off and do work things. Bye, Sue Ellen. Lucy's finished the ribbing and cast off the first sock. That's fantastic. Kathy Bry's done 18 rows. 6 were during the live. Okay, so that's today. I'm like, 18 rows in 2 hours. Anyway, but it wasn't. It was still 6 in 2 hours, though. Dolores had to give up. Don't worry, Dolores, you're not alone. It's very difficult keeping up with the chat and crafting. I'm working on a scarf and I got 10 rows done and posted a picture in the group. That's fantastic. Yeah, I agree, Kelly. I can't wait to see these pics in the fun zone so we can drool and ooh and ah. That's my favorite. I love, oh, I'm right at the end of the row. Hang on. Better double check that I'm doing the right thing here. Yeah. So make sure that, that you're a member over in the fun zone and find the link for today's chat and post your photos of what you're working on, and we can all encourage and support each other. And I also think that if you have a pet photo that you'd like to share with us of somebody that you miss or somebody that you get to give hugs to, let us know in the chat in the fun zone as well. Because sometimes just sharing about our fur babies helps us as well. Nettie says, I tried continental knitting today. Hang on a second. I tried continental knitting and watched your video. It was good, but I tied my finger in knots and ended up with sore hands. Okay. Goodness me. All right. All I can recommend is keep trying. And don't forget that mine is not the only style of continental out there. Like the video that I did, it's not my style. Go and check some other creators as well. They might teach it differently. That could help you too. Leanne has popped a link into the fun zone just in case you're not members. And Kelly has finished the yoke to her jumper. 3rd time for the win. Fingers crossed that it fits, because it's got to be so frustrating for you, Kelly. Like how many times? 3 times. You tell us. Well, guys, I got 3 rows done today on my thing. How many rows? I'm just going to check how many rows we've got until the next color. So it was 3. I'm currently up to, I've just done that row. So that one there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows until the next color. I'm going to try and do that again. I'm going to try and start the next color for next week, like what we did this time round. So cross your fingers for me, and I'll put photos in the fun zone as well to try and keep me accountable too. But yeah, it looks like 9 more rows until the next color. Everybody have an awesome, Louis was very loud then. Have an awesome week, an awesome weekend, and I will see you all here next week for the next live. And those of you that do jump in, excuse me, on the lives on the other channel, there's one happening tomorrow. So I will see you all later. Bye now.